Hey y'all, welcome back to Bruner Gardens. I am Mrs. B, and today I am bringing you along as I plant for the 2021 season. I've already started some plants. I have peppers, tomatoes, and some other things growing. And I thought I would, for the new gardeners out there, I always get a lot of questions how to start the seeds if you choose to do so. You can always go pick up a plant. We just encourage you to grow. But if you're interested in starting from seed, I am going to give you just a quick tutorial on how to do that. Before I do that, I must give a huge shout out to Lead Farmer 73. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, for those who don't know, but I'm sure most of you know, that's how you found me. Lead has given us a YouTube channel challenge. So it's for people like me who have had footage stored in their camera for who knows how long. The carrot harvest that I posted, I shot last year, and it's been in the camera all of this time and probably would have remained for a little while longer unless Lead hadn't started this challenge or I hadn't heeded the call to his challenge, which was to get the footage out of the camera and onto YouTube. So here I am for you today. Lead, a huge shout out. Lady Lead, you know, behind every great man is a greater woman. Much props to you. I'm just so appreciative and over the moon. I had a friend DM me on Instagram and tell me, hey, I just saw you on Lead Farmer. And I thought, well, maybe he just gave me a shout out because I'm doing the challenge. Maybe he just, not even a shout out. Maybe he just typed and said, "Hey, go look at our channel," and we couldn't find it anywhere. And went to YouTube, and lo and behold, just flabbergasted that I was featured on his channel. Incredibly humbled. Thank you, Lead, for giving me the kick in the pants to get started on my YouTube channel. It's something that I've had written down to do in my journal, but I was just like some of you, maybe not, but I was nervous to do this. And so here I am. I'm excited. So without further ado, to the seeds. So, like I said, I've already sown a few things over there on my stand. And today I'm going to be putting in some bee balm. I'm going to grow some parsley, curled parsley, and the coolest seed of all, this is marigolds. All right, so while I sow these, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I know a lot of you, well, all of you are new here. I just started this channel. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself as we go along. But to get started, you get your seed starting mix, whatever that is, and make sure that it's pre-moistened. And I always like to do this to kind of tamp it down to make sure that it's all, the soil is, a little compacted, not really compacted tight, but that it's kind of pushed down and all the air is out. And since it's pre-moistened, you should be all right with that. So then we're going to get our seeds. Depending on the seed, usually I go by whatever the size of the seed is, the depth you should sow the seed, if that makes sense. So if it's a tiny seed, you really only need to sprinkle them on the top and very lightly cover it with your seed starting mix, okay? If it's a bigger seed, like say a cucumber or something like that, I bury it. So if it's this, this big, I bury it to that depth, that same depth underneath, okay? So these are very tiny seeds. This is bee balm, and they're very small. So I'm just gonna take a few and sprinkle them across the section. Now, before you get started, you want to make sure that you have your tags ready to go. Whatever you're going to tag your or to mark what you've just sewn, you want to make sure you've got them written out in advance. Um, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten in here and tried to write with the Sharpie, and I've got dirt in my hands and seeds, and it's just a mess. So now I figure out what I'm going to plant. You make your markers so that you don't mix up your seeds. That's happened too. You forget what you put in each cell. So this was bee balm, okay? Um, yes, that was bee balm. I was looking and making sure you get thrown off. So this is the parsley. We'll put those in as well. So I got started gardening back around 2015, 2016. And what made me get started was at a barbecue. Well, we had a barbecue and we had burgers. And the tomatoes that we sliced for the burgers had zero flavor, none. And we just got into a conversation about how when we were younger, the smell of a tomato and the rich color on the inside of the tomato and the taste, it was just like I could smell it now. And this had no smell, no taste. So my husband and I, Mr. B, decided right then that we were gonna, let's go try and grow our own um, tomatoes. And we did, and they were delicious. So after that, we decided to get a couple of pepper plants. We got a banana pepper, and I don't even remember the variety. It was a hot pepper of some kind. So that was successful. They grew like crazy. So, needless to say, I was off to the races with growing. After that, I bought a box kit. You've seen the grow kits that come in a box, and you take the wood and you just slide it down the groove. And it was 2 4 foot by 4 foot sections, and got my soil in, got excited, and everything went well. I grew watermelons and cantaloupes and I mean, you name it, cucumbers, everything was out there. And the first season was great. And then the bugs came. I think they found my garden after a while. But anyway, it's been great. Um, I've enjoyed every minute of it. When you wake up thinking about something, throughout the day thinking about something, for me, it's gardening. I wake up thinking about gardening. I go to work thinking about gardening. I come home thinking about gardening. It's gardening. So when you think about something that much, that's what you're supposed to be doing. And I don't feel like it's work. I'm out in the garden for hours at a time, and Mr. B has to come out and tell me to come in and make sure I eat, make sure I drink water when it's hot out there in the summer. I mean, I will literally be there for hours, and it's my happy place without a doubt. So for you, it might be something else, but I just encourage you to find that thing. And I'm so glad. I was sitting here a couple of weeks ago, and I was just thinking, it's got to be more to it. There's got to be more to this than just the rat race of it all. And I was really in a weird place. But when you just finally get to that place where you're like, I can't do this every day. And then the challenge came about, and now you guys are here. I'm doing what I love to do. Um, I sent the clip. I sent the link to the clip to my good friend, and she sent me back something. She said it was a quote that she sent to me, and it said, Follow your dreams. They know the way. So I say to you, follow your dreams. They know the way. So if there's something you're planning on doing, you want to do, get out there, do it. I'm so thankful that Led gave me the kick in the pants to do what I love to do and on this scale. So anyway, enough about that. The marker. Don't forget to put your markers in. That was parsley. This seed, this is from my garden, marigolds. After the marigolds have bloomed and they've dried up, if you look, you will see you'll see these little pods. They'll eventually drop to the ground. I don't know if you can see this. Let me move this out the way. But if you open this up, if you open this pod, these look like matchsticks. And each one of these matchsticks, I'll hold this up. Let me see if I can, it's a one-man camera show, so this is what you get here. If you can see each of these little individual matchsticks, here is a seed. So one stick equals one seed, and that's where your flowers come from. I thought this was the coolest thing ever. So we're going to sew these in today. So you just put the matchstick. I just lay it across. Actually, I might put more than one because we have so many. And this is the beauty of saving seeds also. This didn't cost anything. You have the flower, it dries up. You just take the pod off. And like me, if you don't have time to deal with it, you just put it in your Ziploc baggie and you come back to it when you have the time. And there we go. And they'll be ready for next season. So again, I'm putting 2 in. Okay, so after the seeds are in, look at that. I got a marigold seed in my bee balm. I like to sort of make good contact with the soil. So I give it a little pressure and push it down. Make sure that the seed, whatever kind of seed it is, has good contact with the soil. After you do that, you take a little bit of your seed starting mix and for the smaller seeds, like I said, it's just really light. Just sprinkle just enough to just cover the seeds. All right. And then for the bigger ones, it's the same thing really. If it's laying on top, because I didn't really push this down. I didn't want to break the stick, so. And then, all right, so that's making good contact. That is. And now what you want to do, if you have a spray bottle, you could just use a spray bottle and spray the top and mist the top down to moisten it so it's moist like the soil. Move that out of the way. But if you don't have, you could use a spray bottle. You could just bottom water, which means just setting it in some water. But I've pre-moistened this soil and it's already pretty wet. You could take something like this. I got this from the dollar store. I'm a big proponent of using what you have. So maybe you have something similar in your kitchen already. You don't have to spend money on this. But this is just a little, as you can see, a ketchup bottle. And I like it because it just drips lightly onto the soil. It doesn't displace the soil at all, but it will moisten the top. You don't want to use something like your watering can because, not for me, because with these seeds are so small, and the water rushes in so fast that the seeds sort of float all over and they may cross where you planted them. So you want them to stay in the cell. These are pretty filled too. I could have filled these a little less, and that way I wouldn't have that problem. But here we are. So I'm just going to go through and lightly moisten. But that's me and my journey. I am in Georgia. If somebody asked that the other day, I'm in Georgia, zone 8A. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I am going to get these under the lights and on the heat mat because spring is coming and I can't wait. All right, I think that should do it. Yep, the water's coming out, so we're good. All right, you guys. So thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you, Led. Thank you, Lady Led. Thank you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully, if you have a new gardener in your life, I know a lot of people started gardening during this pandemic, and maybe they're not sure where to get started. Send them my way. I would love to help them out. When I got started, I followed YouTube religiously. Luke over at MI Gardener, Kevin at Epic Gardening. I had to learn. So I was on YouTube like I was in class and just watching everything. If you watch Luke, he's going to give you the science, he's going to give you the history, he's going to give you everything you need to know and then some about those plants. Kevin is great, but of course, Led Farmer, I come over and watch weekly. I don't miss it. I don't miss an episode. So these are some of the people you can follow. They are my garden senseis, if you will. And I just invite you to come along on the journey. And thanks for watching. Remember, if I can grow, you can grow. So let's get growing. Thanks, guys. See you next time.